Hey, 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 what's going on? What's going on, everybody? I see Jason. What's up, Jason? How are you doing today? David's here. What's going on? We've got something different. We're going to have a little field trip to the other side of the room here. We've been talking about this David Gilmour strat for a while, and I am getting set up to put it together. Of course, with one of these things, anything could go wrong. There could be parts that need to be ordered and all those kind of things. But hopefully by maybe about an hour from now, we're going to have a working David Gilmour strat. I've already put the pickups into the pick guard, but they're not wired up yet. I've got some desoldering to do from some old stuff that was used in this pick guard. Let's see here. Chris is here. Hey, Chris. What's going on, man? How you doing? Hi, John. Hey, John. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. This is going to be fun. Oh, Charlie's here too. And we got some folks popping in here. Awesome. What we're going to do is put this build together. If you've done this before, if you've ever replaced pickups or put a Partcaster, Stratocaster, or Telecaster together before, let me know in the comments. Or if you'd like to, let me know in the comments. This is going to be fun. I've made a lot of mistakes over time with this, and you learn a lot as you go. Today, we're going to be using this guy here. This is my gimbal. I use this when I go to Disney and do the live streaming and all that stuff. So we're going to test that out in just a second. It makes it so it's real. See, I can move around and it keeps everything kind of nice and stable. So hopefully we can get some good views of what we're doing today. With this, I have most everything I need. I may have to do some experimenting as we go. But I guess I'll go ahead. I'm going to switch over to the cam. And then you can let me know. I know you can see me because I can see through that, but make sure that you can hear me okay as we go. So what's going to happen right now is I'm going to take myself out of this and insert the bench cam here. Okay. All right. I can hear it in the headphones. How about now? Oh, that's better. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on over to the workbench over there. I'm actually going to move the screen over as well. That way I can hear everything, see everything at the same time. Turn these headphones down a little bit. Okay, so here, this is what we're dealing with today. Here's the body. This is a WD replacement body. As you can see, I have shielded the cavity there. So this microphone aimed a little bit better. There we go. I've previously shielded the cavity. That's a conductive paint. And the pick guard is also shielded there with a little aluminum or aluminium, depending on the way you like to pronounce that word. We've got some neck rests here. These are awesome. These, you see they're cork lined where the neck would sit, and you just put it there. This one's for electric guitar, and this one's for acoustic guitar. It's a little bit higher. I also use these for radiusing fret wire. You can see the groove I have in there. Fret wire comes in straight packages, and this is a good way to kind of curve it. So it goes along with the curve of the fretboard. Let's see here. What else are we going to be using? Got a new soldering iron today. This one I can adjust the temperature with. So if we have to do some desoldering or on the back of pots, those kind of things, we're going to be able to get the right temperature. The one problem with this is it's in Celsius. And actually, I'm going to turn it on right now. And I don't speak Celsius too much. But let's see here. If I hold it in, maybe it'll turn on. There we go. I just need to tap it there. So it heats up pretty fast. We've got different types of solder that we'll be using. 3-in-1 oil. We're going to be using that for for the nut slots and for the bridge. I've tried all sorts of different stuff. Graphite, pencil lead. It's specific things that people sell for, underneath the string tree, and there they don't ever work really well. So hopefully we can get this going pretty well. I am going to only use 2 springs in the trim on this. I've got 3 right now. I'm going to take out that middle spring. I'd like for it to be easy to play. These are some old pieces of packaging for guitar strings I was using as a shim before. So we may go ahead and do a little bit of that. So I think, and I've got my multimeter here in case I need to test some connectivity. I'll probably, once we get the pickups in, I will probably plug it into the Spark and use that to see, I basically just tap on the pickups to see how they're going to go. So let me get a good angle for this. How's that? Does that look decent? And I'm going to bring this around here. This is the microphone I'm adjusting right now. So it's kind of aiming in the direction that I'm going. Jason says 320 Celsius. Okay, yeah, I think this one loads up, I think at 350 is what we've got right now. David says, looks good. Okay. There we go. One thing I normally do is I usually have a fan that I sit right about here that takes all the fumes. I don't really like breathing those in too much. We're not going to be doing tons and tons of soldering today, but I couldn't find the fan. I'll be using some magnifying glasses to make sure that I can see what we're doing. And I think the first thing we're going to do is I've got some desoldering to do. So there's some places where I clipped it to get this out of the guitar that it was in, and we're going to remove those. So this is heating up here. We're going to use a desoldering tool. I don't know how many of you have seen something like this. Basically, there's a big spring in there, and you press this in. Let's see here. Press this in like so. When you press the button, it pops back out, but what it does is it sucks the hot solder out of there. And then you can kind of do it a few times. You can see there's some old solder that was in there before. Yeah, kind of cleaned it out a little bit. I haven't used this one in a long time. So hopefully this one works good. Got another one if it doesn't. So let's take a look here at I've got 1, 2, let's see here, 2 places that need to be desoldered. There, 3. I've got the grounds, and the grounds is going to take a little bit of extra temperature. We're going to be adding this black wire to the ground. The white wire is going to go to the hot, which is on this, let's see here, which is right here on the pickup. I mean, on the where the pickup lead would go on the side there. And we're going to go ahead and try that right now. I'm going to try to heat this up. See how hot this iron is. So this is the connection on the main volume pot. Got the window open, but I don't know how good that's going to do for us. It's at 350 right now. I may want to go a little bit hotter. This is taking a while. So here's the old piece. Taking a while. I've got a little bit of fumes there. I may want to heat this. No, let's go hotter. Let's try 375. All right. Now, the tricky thing is I'm going to try and keep these wires out of the way because they're going to want to burn up plastic if I accidentally touch those. It's heating up a little bit here. New soldering iron. Not as easy as I thought it would go. My other ones, here we go. Okay, so now we've got that piece of old wire out for the main thing. I'm going to use my desoldering tool. Heat that contact up right there and get all the junk out. So now I've got a really nice, easy, let's see if I can show you. Let's see here. You can see right there where my thumb is. You can go right in there. Did I tend the tip? Yeah, I did a little bit earlier with that, but it's, let's see if you can see it. It's, you know what it is? I think it's because this is a point, and I usually use kind of the shovel side. So it may have been me just not getting the tip in the right area, because once I did, it all went right up. So okay, let's get the next one. So the next one, I don't know if you can see this or not. It's going to be on the switch itself. I get these out of the way. Here, move this neck to it. All right, so here, there it is right there where my finger is. Let's see here. There we go. Rob says audio is cutting in and out. Okay. Just says screwdriver tips are a game changer. Yep. Very much more fun than this one. I've got a few different tips. I might switch the tip out if this becomes an issue. Okay, it's starting to catch. Maybe if I hit it on the side. Same thing again. Let's see if I can get it rolling here. There we go. All right, let's see if that gets it rolling. Just don't get it. Okay. Now this lead here connects these two terminals. Let's see here if I can get it better. There's two terminals right here and right here. So the in and out audio is killed. Okay, sorry about that, man. I don't know why there's in and out audio. It may be the connection. I'm really close. Let me know if it's cleared up or not. Sorry about that, Rob. Hope hope it clears up. If it doesn't, I can take a break and readjust some things. Oh, I don't like this. I may go back to my old irons. This is ridiculous. Try it from the other side. Get a better angle on it. Okay, I'm seeing some smoke now. Here we go. David's not having audio problems. Okay, good. There we go. Okay. Try this here. All right. Then here. So I just have to remember. Got it. All right, one more. This will be out. I just have to remember that these two have to be together for this super switch. All right. We're good on that. Bottom two. I'm going to have to clean those out here. Do those right now. All right. Oh, the smell of solder in the morning. This is awesome. This is going to be a fun guitar, man. I've been looking at these new, has anybody seen those new strat tremolos? It's from a guy in, I think it's in Spain. Forget the name of them. Yep, those are cleaned out. Really nice. Okay, so we've got these two cleaned out. We've got the main one cleaned out. And I'm going to worry about these other grounds a little bit later. I'm not going to shorten any of these wires. Oh, my wire tool is missing. Should have found that before we got started. I knew I was going to be missing something. These are neat too. I don't know if you've seen these. It's kind of a you can hold stuff in place while you're soldering. It's also got a pointed tip as well. I'm going to move this one into the next. Make a mechanical connection in between the two. There. Didn't want to work. Let's see here. I'm going to hold this down. Here so it doesn't move. Solder these in really quickly. see how we did there. Put a little bit more on this second one. All right, so that one's in. That's our bridge pickup. Hot. Going to get this hot wire out of the way. Charlie says audio's fine here. Cool. Awesome. Sorry about that, Rob. I don't know why you're having the audio problems. I'm pretty close to my router with this. I am going wireless with this setup, but the router is right on the other side of this wall, so it should be pretty good. Pretty good. Okay, so those are in. Now, okay, so when we want to open it like that. Here's our hot wire to the jack. Let's see, I think there's a better angle. That might be a better angle. Hot wire up into the jack. So I'm going to put it in, make a really good mechanical connection. This one opened pretty nicely. I didn't really need to clean this one out too much. All right, and I'm going to solder that in. Sit there for a second, sure. Heat it up nicely. Okay, so our hot is in. So now everything we have left, we have the two grounds that come from the body of the guitar. Let's see here. This. Not too much. Here. I don't know what they're doing the next street down, but it is loud. Go. So we'll get these grounds, we'll tin them up. This one here. One, two. Here is this one looks like this one's been tinned already. Get these two here. Yeah. There we go. That was our tin. This one here. Awesome. So the catch real easy. And so I have three here. You know, I think I am going to do some cleanup on this area here. Does the Gilmour Strat have any bleed caps? I'm not running a treble bleed cap on this. I don't know if his does or not. I haven't needed one with this setup in another guitar. But with this new bridge pickup, maybe I will. We'll see. I'm going to crank up the, see how hot this will get. 480. That's what we're headed to here. I'm going to see if I can get some of these old grounds off. as this is heating up, I'll get the old leads coming out. Let's see if we can heat this up. Once it heats up, sometimes I would like to actually just heat the whole back of the pot up, but the problem with that is sometimes it gets rid of the grounds that you already have on there. So I'm going to just try and localize it to these ones that I'm trying to get rid of. All right. I see Kevin. Hey, Kevin. What's happening, man? Keeping warm? We've had a cooler evening last night, but it is just beautiful here today. All right. Let's heat up a little bit more. It's starting to take. This is the toughest part here. And I know one thing. I am not going to stick with this tip on this new pencil here. Just takes a second for these because you got. I'm just going to sit it on the top here. There we go. We're getting in there. Getting the solder on the top anyway. Not made it all the way down to these leads. It's doing something. Got up as high as it's going to go. Kevin says it's supposed to be 50 today. Summertime. Yeah, man, that's shorts weather, right? Short pants, as Bobby Hill would say. Yeah, for me, the weather is nice, and I couldn't think of a better thing to do than sit inside and work on guitars. Yeah, this is an Amazon pencil, and it just doesn't. I don't know if it's the tip or this, but it just doesn't seem to want to. I'm just going to have to finesse this here, and if this won't work, okay. I think I'm making progress here. Bingo. I got that one. And let's see here. Try and grab this up. 2 leads that were cut off of this. There we go. So we got these 2 leads. I'm going to leave all that on there. All the solder that's on the back of the pot on. And I'm going to take these 3 together. Here's the shortest. This one is a little extra. One more time. I wish I had my other tool where I could, my actual wire strippers. I'm having to get lucky with just regular. There we go. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3. Get those strands out of the way. think I'll do these one at a time, make it easier. Okay, so here we go. This solder on there. Let it sit for a second, and then I'll hold it down here. It's good. Get out of the way so I don't burn them up. The next one, the next ground. Here, put a little solder on it. And hold it in place as it cools. I didn't get enough. Right, hold it in place as it cools. So there's the two grounds from the bridge, from the body, excuse me, and then here's the last one that's going to be the ground from the pickup. That place right in between those two. Solder. There. Put it down. As it cools. You know pretty quickly. Okay, so we are wired up. I'm going to turn this off. It worked. It got hot. It took a minute or two, but it got hot enough. Let me get some of these extra little scraps there away. And normally I would tape these all up to make sure that they're in place, but to save time, I'm just going to shove them all down in there. All right. So what I'll do now is I'm going to just put one screw in the pick guard, and I'm going to go grab a guitar cable, plug it into the spark, and see if we get a signal fix. See if these are working. First, let me make sure I get. Okay, get a little crackle. Volume up, tones up. Okay. Looks like we're doing good. Tone works. Tone works for that. Awesome. Okay. So the wiring was a success. I'm going to clean the guitar up a little bit. And then I'm going to put all the screws in. A lot of times with guitars, I'll be a little more careful than this one. I'll put tape over some things. I don't want to, you know, a lot of times on the pickups, you can see there's a little, that's just wax. Sometimes you'll get wires that go towards the magnet to the pickups. Sometimes I'll worry about the finish, but this is an old guitar and it's pretty beat up. So, yes, Wahoo is right. Okay, so screws. So this is what I usually keep all the stuff I need in. I used to use a electric screwdriver, but I messed a lot of stuff up that way. So I take my time and just put in screws the old-fashioned way. This is fun. I haven't done this in a long time. Really having fun with this. Okay. And we'll see if these screw holes match this pick guard. Seem to. Now on the David Gilmour strat, did he ever use a back pick guard? You know, the trim cavity pick guard. Does anybody know? I don't know if he did it. The one that I had on this was a white pearloid, but you know, and doesn't really match the vibe of this guitar. I think I'm just going to leave it off for the moment. Got here. All right. I cannot wait to use this pickup. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. They're all going in pretty well. I think I replaced all these screws not too long ago. Okay, got a little scared there for a minute. I thought, oh, I got to drill in, but it seems to be working. This one's going in a little sideways. Two left. So I intentionally used some old parts for this. I'll show you in just a second. All right, we're in. So, I don't know if you can see this volume knob. You see the hole drilled in. Drilled in it. I had a volume pot that I wanted to use, and it was always slipping, and it had a little piece of metal at the top that I could raise up, and so I drilled a hole in that so that it would stay. Okay, so I'm going to pop out this middle one. Use a regular screwdriver for that. So I'm only going to use 2. So there we go. Spring out. These are the higher tension ones. And we'll see how long that lasts. For me, I usually use Dr. Duck's, but I need to get some new axe wax for that. All right, so now we're going to put the neck on. And let's see here. Line these up, these holes there. I'm going to leave these shims in because I knew they worked well with another neck, and maybe we'll get lucky here. Okay, so here is the replacement neck. It is a WD music licensed by Fender. It starts off at a 9.5 radius and it ends up at a 12, which is nice. And then we've got 15, 17, 19, 21, 22 frets, and it's got a little bit of an overhang. In fact, it was square and it looked a little out of place before, and so I radiused the bottom of this to make it look more like a Fender. A friend of mine put these decals on. I'm never going to sell this. I'm never going to try and pass it off as a real Fender. These are all Fender licensed replacement parts. Okay, so I've got the neck in the pocket. It's a good fit. The shims are in there. So now I've got an old neck plate. Okay, put that there. And I'm just going to start these screws so I won't have to hold it like this. Notice the quality kind of coming in and out all of a sudden. Oops. Okay, let's hold it in place. I think these are the screws that I've been using on this guitar for a long time, so they're fitting right in really well. Here's the last one. Jason says, looking like no for the trem cover. Yeah, so what's your thoughts on the trem cover? Here's my thoughts about that. Something that I like about a Stratocaster is it's got kind of a natural reverb. And a lot of times, if I was playing and I didn't have a trem cover on, my clothes, whatever I was wearing, would keep those springs from kind of adding something to the sound. So when I put the trem cover on, it would always have a little bit of that natural reverb to it. Okay, so here we are. I'm going to back this up a bit here so we can see a little bit more. Electronics are go. The neck is in. Let's move the tools out of the way. Move some junk out of the way here. There we go. Starting to look like something, huh? Starting to look like something. All right. So this is a fast neck. I really like it. So this is going to be a lot of fun. So now what we're going to do, I've got one of the things I got to figure out is which one of these fits this guitar, this bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 tremolo arms that I don't know. I know one of these is a Callum arm that is shorter. Put these all together. I know David Gilmour cuts down his tremolo, the length of the tremolo bar. This one's the shortest one. Let's see if this one wants to go in or not. Yeah, it does. Okay, so I'll use the shortest one for this. I'm going to try that new bridge for Stratocasters that does complete floating, and I may be swapping out all my bridges for my Strats. Jason says, "Are you looking to wear a belt?" Well, I do wear a belt most times, but try it both ways. If it sounds good, it is good. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave it off right now, but I'll try it that way. I have a whole bunch in the garage there. Okay, so now here we go. We're going to be trying the new strings for me. The new strings for me. So these are David Gilmour set 10 through 48, but the middle strings are 12, 16, 28, and 38. So they're lighter in the middle than they were before. I mean, then John says, looks like your G&L. It sure does. That is a cool guitar too. So, all right. So what we're going to do now is start stringing this up here. I'm going to start with the high E string. I normally use locking tuners, but this guitar just has some standard tuners on it. So we'll see how it goes. So these are individually wrapped in plastic. Interesting. So this is 10, this is the E string. All right. Oh, again. There we go. Not to get all these bobbleheads here. This. Actually, I'm going to turn this. It makes more sense to me right when we go the other way. There we go. Back this up a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so for these, I give it about, I don't know, 3 inches. Whoops. And then I go under, wrap, and lock. And let me see if I've got it. Never go wrong. Cheap string winders. Right, so winding up, i.e., got a roller string tree. Should actually 3-in-1 all of this. All right, so I'm going to get these nut slots first before I new thing in the way. There. Should take this up time. Oh, will be there. Okay. And underneath the tree, I think I'm just going to do that once. Take the towel up underneath there. Both sides of that tree. Do the bridge as well, right where the string. Okay, clean that up. Sides. All right, now I gotta loosen it up. Clear the bridge. There. Okay, so it's down really far right now. You're not going to hear it until we get the rest of the strings on, and then we'll do some adjusting from there. Let's see here. So Jason says, never thought of 3-in-1 oil. I've been using RC car differential lube mixed with graphite powder. Yeah, I been doing a lot of Van Halen research lately, and he and you know we I've got some of Renee Martinez's graphite mixture, all those things. I've tried all sorts of different ways. They never worked, and it turns out Eddie Van Halen used 3-in-1 oil on his white Strat in the early days. Okay, give it about 3 inches there. Underneath, wrap around. We'll go down here underneath the string tree, and then wind this underneath so it locks in place. Right. So there's that. So I need to adjust that stuck in where the There we go. All right, so there's 12. Here comes 16, which is the G string. Tell you what's nice about these is they're airtight, but they give you a little. Where did it go? Thought I just saw it. The last one had a little place where you could just tear it open. There it goes. Makes it real easy to open up. So here's the G string. Okay. So I notice sometimes I look at the monitor and everything's clear, and other times we're getting a little bit of low quality there. I'm going to look back at this and see. God, after it's over, see how well this gimbal in this phone is doing. Okay, so now got the G string underneath, wrapped around. So these are still, all these are fretting out. So I may have to, or we'll see when I get the rest of them. So we got 28, 38, 48. Here's the 28. This is fun. This is cool. Oh man, that almost hit me in the eye. Careful with these strings. Here's the D string. Go. Make sure it's all the way up at the bridge. A lot of times it might get caught down there, and then what'll happen is you'll tune up and think you're in tune, then it'll slip and give a little extra. So I always make sure it's seated pretty nicely. Give it about 3 inches slack above the fretboard, wrapped around underneath, and then up to lock it in place. Yeah. Okay, and then we're going to do the 38. Hey Jason, how did that the RC car lube and the graphite powder, does that work well? I'm always interested. I try out this 3-in-1 oil. See how that goes. All right. Here's the A string, and now we'll see if I may need more or less of a shim. We'll see. I'm gonna give a little extra on the A string. There. Wrapped down. Yep. So is this flat on there, and I'm fretting out on everything. So I can either raise up these. I'll try raising up the saddles first after I get this last string on, and if not, I'm going to have to adjust my shim back in the next. They all had a nice little cutaway, so you could open them up, and this one doesn't. There it is. There we go. So here's my 48. A string. I don't know. I may have to open up my A string nut slot as well. That looks like it's sitting a little funny. Okay. So there's the last string. All right. Pull it tight. Wrap it there. And for the E string, I always kind of hold it down and off to the side of the string as it winds up. Make sure it's coming the bottom of all the wraps, so it pushes up and locks it in place. Okay. Stretch these out a little bit. Yeah, so these are flat on the board. I need to either not shim and or raise these up a little bit. I'm going to try to raise those up a little bit first. Let's see. IP string. See if I can raise it up enough here. Yeah. Okay, I don't need to shim any. I just need to raise these up. And I'll do these. Jason says, I like it because it's thicker. I got the idea from an old Lick library video. Graphite powder is a hot mess if you aren't careful. The mixing makes it less mess. Yeah, that's interesting. All right. We'll put a nice radius to the saddles here. Yeah. Stuck in that. These are old saddles. They want strings want to get stuck where the hole come. I mean the adjustment screws are. Okay. Awesome. All I had to do is raise these up a little bit. More. This one. This guitar is starting to come to life here. And then we'll tune it up in just a minute. And then we'll set the trim and the intonation. And at least we'll have a start on this. Okay, let me get a tuner. See where this one works. Yes. All right. Now this isn't going to be perfect because usually you should always tune when you're holding it like you will, but I just want to get in the ballpark here. Some G. There we go. All right, so that's in the ballpark. Of course, the high strings now, they're going to be flat. So I get them until they just kind of are in the where they want to sit, and then I'll stretch them out again. Now the trim is lifted. So I don't really want that. So what I need to do is, since I'm only using, I'm going to take this bar out here. But this is the one. This is the bar I'm going to use. Chris says, got a meeting on the hour. We'll look back later. Cool. Thanks for hanging out, Chris. No problem, man. No problem at all. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten. Where's that screwdriver? Where's the blues? There it is. See if I can tighten these a little bit more. No, Not working. Maybe I'll go back to the 3 springs. Where was that extra spring? Gotta clean up my area. There it is. For the moment. More. Sometimes you get this to work. I've got a better tool. Let's see if I can get this last spring in. Oh, my fingers are getting in the way. If I a little bit more. Almost. One last try. Let's see if I can get the spring back. Yeah. Okay. We're just going to have it floating for right now. Later I'll take these off and go in and put the other spring back in so I can get enough tension. Those screws are like that far away from the body, so may not be able to run this one with 2. Stretch them out. Tune them one more time. And then we'll go back over to the, let's wrap these up so poked in the eye. We'll go back over to the line 6 and plug it in there and see what we get. Take a look at that bridge. Yeah. Strings are getting nervous. Yeah, and I've got them right in the camera too. So let's see here. Let's do this. I once was working at a music store and was trying to trim a bass string. Trying to cut the end of a bass string. And it took off across the room when I finally did cut it, and it ended up going into a very expensive guitar there. It was able to be fixed. It was a little dent in a guitar that was repaired, but I felt terrible about that. All right, I'm going to tune this up one more time, and we'll head over back to the desk. Bridge is lifting up more than I would like. I'll do that when we're not on a live stream. Yeah, it's lifting up pretty high. Much higher than I would like. All right, we're kind of finding equilibrium between the strings and the springs in the back. There we go. Okay, I'm going to head on over here, back. Okay, can you hear me? Yeah, we're good. All right, so I'm going to plug this in here. And let's see here what we got. Got this one. Get my headphones. And we'll see what we got. Okay. That's going to be a little out of tune. There's the bridge. Pick up. They need to be stretched out a little bit more, and the bridge is going to... Looks cool, man. Reminds me, it does. It reminds me of John's guitar. Strings are a little low. Bridge needs to be figured out. But in an hour, we got it wired up. Let me see. Let's go to like a Marshall type sound. So these new strings, tens, sure. Don't feel like tens. Bends like nines. I can see why he likes this gauge of strings. That's pretty neat. So it needs to be intonated. We need to fix the bridge, a bunch of other things, but by next week, this thing is good to go, man. And I'm gonna start using the trim too, make sure it works pretty well. Okay, everybody, there we go. Here it is, the Gilmour Partscaster with the round strings. I like it. It's actually pieces of other guitars that I've had, so everything's comfortable on it. The neck plays nice. It needs to be adjusted. I'll get that trim going. The bridge pickup sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound shrill like a regular Strat bridge. Anyway, yeah. In about an hour, what's it been, an hour and 10 minutes? Not bad for an hour and 10 minutes, right? Of course, I could have gone a little bit more in depth on some things, but I'll be, now that I'll have some time to think about it. It's playable. I like it, man. I like it. Looks good, feels good. Sounds good. Okay. Let me see if I missed anything here. Jason says, I need to film in 3D next time. You know what? I didn't know if any of this was going to work this at all. So I'm happy that you could see something. Let's see here. Michael says, I have a problem with slipping. It always seems to be the G. No idea why. Is it in a Strat or is it in a 3 on a side guitar? Because a lot of times the nut slot in the G, if it's like in the Gibson where it goes off to the side, you get a lot of slipping from that. Michael says, very interesting. Thanks, Lee. Thank you, man. Kevin says, looks great, Lee. Thank you, Kevin. It's it feels good too. It's nice and it's not too heavy, not too light. I'm kind of holding it like this. I think I got a new guitar. Ross here. Hey, awesome, man. Awesome. David says, looks good. Cool, man. We're going to do some more stuff like this. What I think I will do next time, I have another webcam that is upstairs on another computer that's the same as these ones that I use. That's pretty good. And I might get some sort of an extension so I can get over there by the window. That way I won't have to use the wireless, which as I could see was kind of, sometimes the quality was a little bit better or a little bit worse. So I'm going to have a better camera set up over there next time. I'm so sorry. I've had way too much to drink. I thought we were voting for a band. Hey, we can do that next week. Have another one on me. What time is it there? 4 o'clock? We're 4 o'clock in the morning? Awesome. Jason says, very cool. Thanks, Lee. You're welcome. This was fun. Didn't know how it was going to go. This could have totally tanked. So just the fact that we made it to a guitar that's actually somewhat playable, needs a lot of adjustment though. I'm very happy with this. Michael said, never soldered on a guitar. I use a Weller station for my small electronic projects for fun at home. Yeah, it's usually I'm a little bit more meticulous and I cover things up, but I didn't care if this got, if this guitar didn't, got a little messed up. It would just mean it's mine. And this is definitely mine. These are all like parts. That really feels good too. New guitar. Jason says that's a good choice, Michael. Yeah. Wellers are nice. With the Weller station with it. I used to have one. I don't know what happened to it. I went back and looked through all my old irons and they're all like the old crappy ones. So I bought this thing. It worked. It didn't work great, but it worked. Rob says 6:12 a.m. and you're up drinking. Who won the band finals? Oh gosh. Who won the last one? What did we do? 9? Here, I'll find out. Was it Cho? Let's see. Here, I'm going over to the tournament. Here, the last one we did was best guitar albums of the 90s. Isn't that what we did? And it was No More Tears by Ozzy. It beat out Dirt by Alice. No, that was the semifinal rounds. The final rounds was No More Tears that beat out the Black Album for 90s best guitar albums. That was the last one we did. Let's see here. The one before that, I think, was best guitars of the 60s. And that was Hendrix for that one. We did best guitars of the 80s before that. And that one was Stevie Ray Vaughan edged out Eddie Van Halen for that one. And then, let's see here. Best guitar solos of all time. In our opinion. It was Voodoo Child against Stairway to Heaven. And I didn't write down which one won. If anybody remembers, let me know. And then the very first one we did was guitars from the 70s. And that was Jimmy Page beat out Eric Clapton for that one. So those are our challenges, Rob. 6:12 a.m. Man, you're on it, dude. You're on it. Okay, everybody, I'm gonna go grab some lunch. Think about what I need to do for the rest for this guitar, and the hard stuff's done. We finished all the difficult stuff. Now it's just adjusting things and getting it to work right. Rob says, "Oh dang, that's a pretty awesome result. Regardless, amazing. Thanks, Kurt. Cool, man. Cool. Great to see you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Sorry there were some sound issues. Like I said, I'm just happy that anything happened with this because I wasn't sure how it was going to go. But everybody have a great. If you're celebrating Thanksgiving, enjoy Thanksgiving. I'll be enjoying it at the Cracker Barrel because I don't have to do any work for that. And it's an actual vacation. But if you are just getting ready for the holiday season coming up, have a great weekend. And I'm going to go ahead and call it. And I will see you all next week. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great one. Bye-bye. David says fun stuff. Rob says keep it, catch soon. And David says fun stuff. Cool. See you soon.